You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so very much. We have a special guest today, Chinelo. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. She is a founder and the CEO of the Language Afrik, and also the coordinating person of the master's class for young people. It was a wonderful one last year, or was it this year? I was also a speaker in this master's class, a space whereby young people were given a chance to explore themselves, express themselves in the areas of entrepreneurship, in the areas of IT, and also in the areas of business. And that's why I'm very particularly grateful to have you as a guest speaker to talk on this conversation. Actually, the word in German is more better, Nachhilfe, which is like tutoring, mentoring for young people. And we said today that tutoring, Nachhilfe, can be a preventive instrument for personal growth or personal development, personal growth, and academic growth. Thank you very much for joining the platform. I hand over the visual microphone to you, Chinelo.
Thank you very much, Frau Sampan, for this opportunity to speak on tutoring on NACUFE and the effects and how it can benefit parents. I'm trying to share my screen, but it's showing me that the host disabled participants' screen sharing. Is it possible to enable it, or I should just go on without the presentation?
It's okay. Let me enable you. If I had the information long ago, I put you like a co-host, and then you can automatically do that. Just hold on for some minutes. I need to put you as a co-host, but you can continue the conversation.
Okay, then I just continue without sharing. So good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to this workshop on tutoring as a preventive tool for personal and academic growth. In this discussion, we'll be exploring how NAC-HILFE, when done early and intentionally, can prevent learning gaps, boost confidence, and create emotional balance for children and families. And this is not about crisis management or last-minute exam help. No, it's about building a foundation for growth, personal, academic, and emotional. So before we dive in, I'll just say a little bit about myself. I studied project management in Nigeria, from Nigeria, and then I came to Germany for my master's, did a master's in European Masters in Project Management. And after working for a while, I started a consulting company called Ogalidi, where we offer tailored solutions to enhance company performances and efficiency, ranging from project management services, procurement management services, event management, workshops and trainings like this ones, among others. And I'm also the director
of... You can now share your link.
Screen. Okay, let me see if I can do that. Okay. Put this on presentation mode and see. Oh, wait. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Great, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm actually saying a little bit about myself. So yeah, as a director for Language Afrik, a school where we build people's confidence in academic studies, and also a place where people can learn various languages, from African languages, European languages, Asian languages. So we cover Swahili, Twi, Igbo, Yoruba, different African languages. And we also go into teaching the German language, Turkish, Spanish, and French and other languages, depending on what people want to learn. So we have teachers for various languages. And particularly on NAC-HILFE, we are offering tailored support for children in their learning progress. So going back into the discussion of today, Tutoring is often misunderstood as something children need only when they are struggling. But what if we approached it as an early investment and not as a repair tool? So early tutoring helps children from positive learning habits, develop confidence, and feel capable even before difficulties arise. And it's like going for a regular health checkup, not because you're sick, but because you want to stay healthy. In the same way, early academic and personal coaching ensures steady growth and not recovery from failure. The quote here captures the heart of today's discussion. Early tutoring is not remedial, it's proactive growth. At Language Afrik, we've seen how tutoring can transform children when introduced early. They become more expressive, curious, and self-assured. Preventive tutoring doesn't just fix grades, it builds the mindset, it builds discipline and motivation. It also teaches children how to learn and not just what to learn. Confidence is the first visible outcome of effective tutoring. When children understand what they are learning, anxiety disappears and then motivation grows. Tutors act as mentors who encourage children to believe in their abilities, teach them strategies for learning and not just to answer questions. We also celebrate small wins that keeps them motivated. I often say that a confident learner becomes an independent learner. That's the true goal, to help the children develop a long life love for learning. And we see this also in their classrooms when they have their NACHEO fair, because most times they're in smaller groups. When they see that they understand a concept or a strategy, they feel more confident and it motivates them. And this is what we're talking about, building that early stage of self-confident children. Many parents usually ask, what is in it for us? So early tutoring supports not just the children, it also supports families. Early tutoring supports families in different ways. One, it reduces homework stress at home. Like when they bring their house of garbage home, you don't need to focus on what they're doing. They have to send it into their classrooms and the teachers will explain everything for them. So you do not have evening battles over house of garbage. Have you done your house of garbage, or what have you done? Even if you as a parent don't understand what they're doing, the NACHEO takes care of that. The tutoring takes care of that aspect. It also improves parent-child relationships. Parents can now focus on emotional support and not on the academic pressure. It also gives parents peace of mind knowing that their children has confidence, like they have consistent guidance in their work, and it saves time and money long term because early support prevents expensive emergency tutoring later. When parents, teachers, and tutors work together, the children benefit from a stable and supportive learning ecosystem. I give you an example. Today, one of our parents called in and was so happy. She said her husband took their daughter to school. She's a grade 5 student, and the teacher in school had a conversation with the father and was telling him that they have noticed an improvement in the child's speaking, because usually she doesn't speak in class. But since she joined us in the NACHEO fair, with the way the teachers, our tutors, converse with them, we give them that assurance that they're in a safe environment, they're able to speak up, and we encourage them to also speak up in class. And when they know what the topic is about, it's easier for them to answer questions. if they know it. So we tell them to always answer questions in class, because most of them don't even know that speaking in class has its own added marks for it. They want to know how social the child is. But if the child does not know what the topic is about or does not understand what is happening in class, they will feel demotivated to speak. And the teacher confirmed to the father today that she has really improved. The intention was to recommend a lower school for the child, but from today's feedback from the teacher, she said they're definitely going to recommend her going to a gymnasium because her grades has improved. Her speaking in class was from the range of 1 to 10 was 1, and now is 5. So it's coming up from how it was previously, as well as her grades are coming up. She used to be like a 3, 2.5, but now she's like 1,0, 1,3. She's keeping that steady pace. So we usually help the parents balance this areas of the child's life so that they feel more confident that yes, that their children are in good hands. And this is what we're talking about when we say parents, teachers, and tutors work together, and whereby the child is the beneficiary from a stable and supportive learning ecosystem. One of the most common questions I usually get is, when should we start the tutoring? The best time is before learning challenges appear. You can start by observing your child's behavior. Are they losing interest in subjects that they once enjoyed? Are they showing signs of frustration or self-doubt? These are early indicators that gentle, structured tutoring can make a difference. So as for how to choose, you need to look for mentors who focus on building confidence and skills, not just grades. Communicate openly with the children and the parents, and then encourage independence and curiosity. That's what you should be looking for in a tutor. And this is what we look out for when we are bringing in or recruiting tutors for our children. Now, if you're talking about the benefits, we usually say that tutoring is an investment and not a cost. When you invest early, you're not just paying for lessons, you're nurturing future leaders who can think, adapt, and succeed independently. And at Language Afrik, our approach is a combination of academic guidance and emotional support, where we create an environment where children strive holistically, because we want to make sure that the children have that motivation that they need to be outspoken, to be confident, to be self-assured, and have that confidence to speak up when they know something, or even when they don't understand a topic. We give them that assurance that at Language Afrik, you can definitely ask any question, no matter how crazy or stupid you think the question is. Your tutor or your teacher is willing to explain it in such a way that you understand fully. Because we realize that every child has a different way of learning. So we tailor the NACIO fair to the child's learning abilities, because some children are very fast in learning, some are very slow in learning, and you cannot just put everyone in the same category. We have to look at the child, we look at where the child has challenges, and then try to help them overcome those challenges. If it means they are either slow in understanding what the concept is. The teachers take the time to explain properly. So we are focusing on tailored coaching for the child's growth. This is what we're focusing on. And now, to wrap up, I would like to summarize it as early tutoring builds lifelong confidence. Parents benefit emotionally and practically when their child has structured support. And then choosing the right mentor makes all the difference. And with us, we make sure that it's flexible enough so that the parents are able to, guide the children when it comes to when they should come, when they're available for the classes, and in what areas they need help, if it's in Mate, Deutsch, Spanish, or Physics, biology, any topic at all where they have challenges. We make sure that we try to help them and then meet them at their point of need. And like I said at the beginning, NACUFE or tutoring is not just for when the reports come in. You need to, monitor the child, support the child. And when you support the child, you have, as a parent, peace of mind that you can focus on your own improvement. If you have to go for a vital building or you have a conference or something to attend, you're sure that your child's academic needs are being attended to, and you have that peace of mind. So remember that tutoring is not a sign of weakness. It's a commitment to growth. And every child deserves that chance to feel capable, confident, and supported. And at Language Afrik, our mission is to empower learning through connection and culture. Because from what some other parents have told us in the other NACUFE that they attended, there's this conflict of culture where the teachers may not understand the culture of the child or may not understand why the child is behaving the way they're behaving because they're from a different background. And this happens also in schools. They just tend to ignore the child and expect the children to understand something even when they don't have that possibility to understand them. So we provide tutoring and mentoring programs tailored to each child's needs, academically, emotionally, and culturally. And our philosophy is simple: education is empowerment, and every child can thrive when given the right tools early enough. So if you're a parent or soon to be parent, I encourage you to start thinking about preventive tutoring as part of your child's growth journey. You don't have to wait for a report card to take action. We at Language Afrik are happy to help you explore programs that fit your family's goals and your child's personality. And together, we can build confident, resilient learners and stronger families. And I'd love to open the floor for your questions, your thoughts, or your experiences. I'd like to also know, what challenges have you observed in your child's learning? And have you tried other NACUFE before? What worked and what didn't work? Let's make this conversation, let's make it a conversation, because your stories can help other people learn as well. So thank you so much for the platform and for the opportunity to tell you a bit about tutoring as a preventive tool and how Language Afrik can help you. So please, I'm open for your questions and let's hear your experiences as well. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Chinelo, for this explicit exchange conversation. And please, maybe you would want to take your flight down now so we can open room for questioning and for exchange. But one thing I'm taking home already is the fact that tutoring can be preventive, and it should be a preventive instrument and not only a remedy. So that is already very important. I think that we can attest to that. And now we have the possibilities to ask questions. If you have any questions on this regard, please ask your question, and Ma'am Chinelo is still here to answer you. Any questions? Esther, please. I'm sorry, I already called your name
Thank
before.
you. I just joined. And mine is not a question, but maybe a remark. Thank you for the presentation. I just have a little remark. And Gemma will say that is nicht böse gemeint. With your slide, maybe I'll advise that next time you are doing the presentation to an African community,
Okay.
if you can use the pictures of us so we can relate, I think that it will go a long way to help. So that is just a little thing I wanted to add. I know the name speaks for itself, Language Afrik or Afrik language. So, but all the slide, I saw no black picture on it. I don't know whether the earlier ones, there was some on it already, but yeah.
There was.
Thank you.
Thank you for that observation. Noted.
Thank you so much. We should also pay attention that we're in Germany. So I am very convinced that not only African people are there. So, but however, because the conversation was specifically for the African population community, it makes sense. Thank you very much, ma'am. I have a question, Chinelo, to the topic on Naki for tutoring. How much should a parent invest? Because you say it's an investment and not a cost. What would that be for parents to invest? And at the moment you're doing that online, how is it reliable for young people? When I look at primary school children, I know many of them are already having laptops and all that. But when they have to do the NAC online, how does that function?
So when it comes to the children of this generation are IT savvies. They're already used to technology, even far more than the older generations. And once you put them through, they catch up. We have children as young as 7 years old. We have, as young as 5. The major thing is those who are younger, we need an elderly person to be with them so that they don't lose concentration. But the older kids who are in grade 3, grade 4, grade 13, grade 10, they're very good with the systems. So our courses are purely online because we cater to students all around Germany and outside of Germany, because we have students in the US, we have students in the UK as well, and some other African countries like in Nigeria and Ghana. And those who are in Germany, all you need to do is, once the payments are done and the administrative department takes care of sending you the class links and the schedule that you have chosen, because we have different days for different classes. For example, matter for grade 4 can be different for the matter class for grade 5 or grade 8 or grade 9. So we have different across all boards for all grade levels. All they need to do is we have the class links sent to the email that was used to register, and then you can log into the class. We use Microsoft Teams, and it helps us to organize the structure in such a way that everyone has a different link for their classes. And because we look at smaller groups, we focus on a maximum of 5 students so that each teacher or tutor can monitor the child and see how this child is functioning, where this child has issues, and so that it's easy to manage them in smaller groups.
Thank
Did
you.
that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And I'm seeing a question in the chat, and someone is asking if they want to join your team as a teacher because they're passionate. How do they go about that, please?
Oh, yes. If you're a teacher and you would like to join, you need to send your CV to the email info@languageafrik.com. Or if you check on the website, the job section area, you can check if there are open jobs like we're looking at, they're currently looking for maths German teacher, that's Mathe in Deutsch. We're also looking for Deutsch teachers, you know, so yes, info@languageafrik.de. .de.
Thank you. So we're looking for German teachers. We're looking for, and now you said that the platform is open worldwide. And what level of German do you teach? When you say German teachers, what level of German?
So for our Nachhilfe, you know, all the children speak German already.
Mhm.
So we're looking at teachers who understand how to help explain the curriculum of what the children are doing in school. Then for those who come in as they want to learn German language separately, not as Nachhilfe, we have a different teachers who cater to those levels from A1 to C2 levels.
Mhm. So which means that a young person in Cameroon can just decide to attend the language courses, and do they have the possibilities to also write an exams?
Yes, we can, you know, register them for the exams here that they usually have in Germany, so that they can do their A1, B2 exams as well after the language classes. So we have them, for those who come in for language courses, you need to do the language course for at least 3 months.
Yeah.
For each level. So definitely after the 3 months, you register for the exams and you get your exams done.
Thank you very much. Any other question? I think I'm seeing something in the chat. Any other question, please? You can ask your questions or you can write them here in the chat. The email address is info@languageafrik.de, not com.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. Yeah, I wrote down a couple of questions and you've already answered some of them. I was going to ask how many kids per session, which you said like a maximum of 5. So I have a second grader, he's 7. I was just going to ask, firstly, how much time is allocated for each class and how many times a week? That's my first question.
So we have classes 2 times in a week, 1 hour per day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for a child that's just starting for the first time, like I think I commented once in the parent compass that I think for my son it may be a challenge to sit down one-on-one with somebody. So for a child that's starting that way, how is the first class? Is there a kind of orientation for the first day or the first week for the child to get accustomed to the whole online system? Is there provision for that, or does the child just go right straight ahead to start their classes? And how do you assess a child's learning ability? Is there a kind of test the first take for you to know where they're at? Yeah. And
So
then
okay, go ahead.
Okay. And then about the German school system, yeah, I've listened to a lot of videos, read a lot of things that fault the system of learning because it affects the way the children assimilate. I've even heard, like, I've attended the seminar of a German teacher that was decrying the system, you know, especially the way they learn mathematics and everything. So is that put in consideration to help them learn the same content, but in other forms that can make them understand it better? Yeah.
Most definitely. So we look at different ways. First of all, we identify the child's challenge, and then we look at different ways to make the child understand the concept, because when it comes to mathematics is a global language, you know. So but the way they teach it here in Germany might be different from the way we learned it in, for example, Nigeria. So the teachers will look at their textbooks, look at how the teachers have explained it, and then try to explain it in that way. And also give the child another option, like different ways of answering the questions, different from the way the teachers have understood it. But what matters here is that we make sure that the child understands the question being asked and how to answer it in different strategic ways. So here it's about understanding what the question is and how to go about it.
Okay, thank you. So it means that the way you teach the child, it's not necessarily the German system. I'm asking for German school in Germany now. So eventually, when they get to write the exam, are they going to be able to? Yeah, of course. If they understand, they'll be able to translate what they've learned
Of
into.
course. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We've
And
had.
then
Go ahead, please.
no, it's okay.
Hello.
Okay. So one more question. Yeah, the qualification of the teachers, are they just like people that can teach maths, or are they people that are like pedagogic pedagogic background that you have as your tutors?
So we're looking at both sides. We're looking at pedagogic teachers as well as teachers who can understand and teach the children in a way that they understand what they're talking about, because it's about supporting the children. So we're looking at both sides.
Thank you very much. Another hand, Esther Prempel.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to make a comment on the maths thing that my namesake Esther was asking. And I have a little experience with that with my first daughter. Her father taught her something about a specific topic, and when they started doing it in school, her approach to it was different from how the teacher was doing it. But teacher said it doesn't matter because there are children that they can give them the basics and they will come up with their own way of doing things. And the most important thing is that the understanding is there. Grundlage, is there. And I just wanted to add that one to clarify for Sister Esther, that once the child gets the basics, the child can develop his own. It doesn't have to be rigid. This is how you need to go about it.
Yes, that's what's important, that they understand the concept of what they're teaching.
However, now I'll be talking like a pedagogy. However, I still get to what Esther is talking, because the German system is somehow very tricky. When the teacher gives you a method, she wants you to give her back her method. So that's why it's so important, in as much as we give the concept and the child understands, that we also come back again to maybe check the methodology in the book of that school. I take a case of my son. I remember those days, my husband is a great guy in math. And so we were teaching him the different approaches and the different methods to get to the same thing. And of course, he used that method. And the teacher just told him, please, your parents will make you bala bala. Bala bala is like your parents can make you
confuse you.
So please let them they don't get what they are seeing, right? So, and of course, it is a method with different methods, different approaches, but that was leading to the same thing result. And this also can be effective for someone who is already maybe smart and don't have problems. I think that's why we get back to the fact that tutoring is an investment. We do not have to wait that there is a problem before we solve. So, meaning that we have two levels of it. The first level would be preventive. It means the child can have all the different approaches, the different methods. And then when it's already the very difficult case, then we go and focus on how the school would want to have it. That would be my advice on that. Also based on the experiences, and of course, because I also lecture here. Just to add to
But
that.
my experience was quite different. But I think what you said is very important. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
We have another hand, maybe another question. Please, sir, could you ask your question? Also, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, it's not a question, it's just to contribute to what the director of Language Afrik has just mentioned. So I would say at Language Afrik, normally I listen to everybody's contribution. What they do at Language Afrik is that they try as much as possible to harmonize, let me say, the teaching processes with what they've done there, what they've taught them in school, and what they are doing at Language Afrik. So the methodology from the teachers is not different from what Language Afrik is teaching, because normally that is why Language Afrik always encourage all the pupils, the students, to bring in their textbook, make a photo, send it to the teachers, and the teachers can harmonize their own solution with the school's teacher's solution. In the end, they still have to follow the methodology the teacher gave them in school, because, okay, this is how they want to do it. And mind you, the curriculum at Berlin is different from the curriculum in NRV. So this is where the harmonization comes in, because what they are teaching them in Berlin, maybe your child might be sitting in Berlin and another person is sitting in Dortmund. So these are two different topics that they'll be doing. But in the end, like she also said that they're having 7, but in the end, they try as much as possible to harmonize this topic together and to use the same exact method they are using in school, but in such a way that when they are teaching, the children can actually assimilate. So because one, when they come inside the class, first what they do is they prepare them, because normally everybody like, oh, I'm doing Nakufe again, they're taking my time again. First, you have to first encourage them, prepare them for learning, ask them questions, just a preparation maximum of just 10 minutes. From that 10 minutes going forward, you would see they're already open for learning. So this is very important. We make them our friends. Okay, we make them like, okay, we are friends. We are not just teachers. We are friends. We are just teaching you. So we don't say, oh, we are teacher, we are this or that. So that is how Language Afrik, like I would say, handle all these processes gradually and bet you from point 6, they move straight ahead. If not 1,0, it's going to be maybe 1,5 or 1,6. So there are a series of like testimonies like that. And somebody asked a question regarding if how did they come in? When you are coming in, an handbook is being handed over, like maybe through the emails, you can read everything that you needed to know. So that is just the prep before they comes in. So once they come in, no wasting of time. The psychologically, not just teaching my mathematics alone. So they work with the child psychologically to see the level the child is, so that they can pick up from that level to a better level. So for me, that is all I can just advise. So the rest can be just maybe any contribution else. The director will mention that again. So thank you.
Thank you very much for adding. The director, maybe you want to add something again?
I'm open for questions. If you have more questions that you don't understand, we're here. What's important is that we need to keep in our minds that different Bundesland have different curriculum. So we harmonize everything and make sure that each child's challenges are met and they can accelerate ongoing, because our aim is to support that child. We're not waiting for them to have bad grades. We're improving those who come in with bad grades or those who are having self-doubts. We're improving their confidence so that they're able to speak up and able to understand everything and assimilate everything that is being taught to them in school. So we're using exactly what they're doing in school in our NACO fair. Nothing different.
Thank you very much. For the parent who is here and thinking, well, my child is very good, my child don't really need it, and someone also asked the question, those that go to for the whole day school from 7 o'clock to 5 p.m., what offers do we have for such young people? They stay the whole day in school.
If they want to join, even while they're in their whole day school, because some of them who attend those whole day schools are there because the parents don't really have the time to pick them up early, so they spend more hours in school. What they do is when they register for our NACU fair, within the hours where they are home, so usually they have to come back early and then engage in the NACU fair, because we are online. They have to be seated and prepared for classes, because if they're out there playing or something, they'll be distracted. So when they're home, they can come in prepared for the class. So of course those students are also welcome. They can join. We have some of them who put in their NAC hours and are part of our students as well. So we have spaces for them who are in the whole day school.
Thank you so very much. If there are no other questions, then that will be fine. But what I'm picking up today is that Nachhilfe, as we call it in German language, for those who will be listening after, is tutorials. It is not only to remedy the situation of a bad grade. It is important that we invest and we start using these tutorials as a preventive approach, to prevent the young people to get damage, maybe in their academic, in their personal relationship, and the more of the tutorials we have, then we are also creating room for mentorship for them to help them in their personal development, and indirectly also helping the parents who may not necessarily have the professional skills and the ability to support the children. Because I know from experience that most times the children don't want even the help of the parents. So and that's why I think it's a good thing if the parents can avoid all the fighting, all the quarreling, all the argumentations, and hand over to someone who is professional and pay for that. So how much is a course, or how much is a NACHIFE with you? Because I've attended other NACHIFEs, I've registered my children to others. How much is an NACHIFE with you before we go to answer the question of Imelda?
So it depends on the course in which they are registering for. For example, Mate, we have maths in English that we teach the children. That is more of, we do 60 euros. But when we have to go for Mate in Deutsch, because the teachers are more of German teachers, we do 20 euros per hour. That means in general, we are looking at, roughly 200 euros monthly for German Mate. Then for German language, if you want to learn German language, it's a different price. So it depends on the course or the language or the subjects that they are taking for NACHIOFE. So we have different topics: Spanish, we have German, we have Italian, we have English, we have physics, chemistry. So it depends on what course. So there's no like fixed cost for each of them. But what is important is that we are taking 15 euros per hour, depending on the course that you want to take. And also, but this accumulation is, we take them monthly. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, that's
It depends on the course.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Imelda, please, your question. We are almost rounding up. Imelda?
Yeah, hello. I'm the one asking the question.
Sorry, go on.
Please, thank you. It's very interesting. I've been listening through, and I find it very encouraging and interesting. My question is, do these kids, assuming I want to enlist my children, do they have what we can call probate period? That is to say, the child
Yes.
from so time to so time will come for trials, and then we see if the child will be enlisted finally. Because I have these issues with my two boys that even they can play hours in the computer, but when it comes to sitting down, like the section I used to have with them, to read me a book and explain what they read, even if it is 30 minutes or 1 hour, I still find myself fighting with them to do that. And then for them to even enlist, we will need to have a trial period of time on how long is it, and which I know that for them to enlist, within that period of time that they are going through trials, I still have to sit beside them, because if I leave them alone to just listen and concentrate, they wouldn't do that. So how long is the probate period, please? Thank you.
So the probate period is, we do the first day, we have a probate class on the first day. So you tell us when the child is available, when their schedule is free, and then we look at our teacher's schedule and then match a schedule for the trial class, and then we try to get to know the child more, like an introductory class, and the teachers will ask the questions. The student can ask openly whatever question or challenge is having, and we look at what they are doing in school, and what they're currently doing and how we can help them. So the probate period is 1 day. That's the first class, is usually the probate period. And I would like to ask you, sir, how old are your children? Because you mentioned that you're
Yeah,
struggling to keep them at one place.
yeah, they are 12, 10, and 8.
Okay. So they're actually old enough. What they just need is a bit of, challenge. And usually what the NACUFE does, because it's 1 hour, we take them away from their screen time. The screen playing, and rather than playing, we move their brain to academics, but we give them, at least for the first intro, 10 minutes of discussion for them to feel relaxed and willing to learn. You have to make them feel, okay, I'm in a good place, I'm here to learn, and with time, they would enjoy coming to the class. It's because you're their parents, they'll be grumbling to want to sit down and learn. They'll prepare to go and play. But when they have this fixed schedules, and then they have to, be in class with other children, they will be more interested. And because the challenge is more like it's a healthy challenge with other children in the class. So they want to do something and, see what the others can do and how they can be better and things like this. So,
Okay, for me, I would say the probate period is short.
yeah, we use it to get to know them and then to see their interest.
It's really, really short. And
On the contrary, I would say we can say it's short because that most don't even have. So I think that the question would have been to know if there is a way to quit out of the contract.
Yeah.
How long and how fast, so that if it doesn't work as a parent would want, then they can quit. Because I've hardly seen a NACIFE that has probate side anyway.
So usually we do 14 days on our online
come in.
14 days. But because we have the class 2 times in a week, it's just that first class that you have, and then you have 14 days to say, oh, I'm no longer interested. My children are no longer interested in the class. Then, of course, we can refund you your money after 14 days. No questions asked.
And after 14 other days, if the 14 days are over, now the children are children, and after that 14 days, we now realize it really can't work. How many months do we have to quit?
And then you can quit immediately if you don't want to join anymore, okay. If you don't want to continue. So we're not doing it like a fixed contract where you are staying with us till 6 months. No.
Okay.
If your child says, Mama, I'm no longer interested, it's fine with us. You don't need to pay for the next month.
Okay. Oh, thank you so very much. That makes it very comfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
And the one can easily quit if the kids are not really interested, because it could be a good thing, but at times the kids are really not just interested and we can't force them, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Chinelo, any last word for the people as we're rounding up?
Please,
So
when can
I guess someone is asking where is the registration link. Is that so, Imelda?
Yeah, I need also the registration link because I want to do B2 and I need the certificate. So she said to me that it's possible for me to join. So I need the link also.
sorry, Imelda here. Miss Chinelo, people that are in Africa, young CEO, do we need to register again?
The registration link is quite different from the Young CEO. The Young CEO was our youth program that we did.
Okay.
So I'll just put in the registration link here, and then you can decide to either register directly after the registration link, pay directly online, or if you don't want to pay online, we can send you our bank details and you can do bank Überweisung. So, or we can also do last shrift Überweisung, depending on what the parent wants and what's more comfortable for you. So I'll send in the.
And I have one question. What else people that is in job center and job center is ready to pay? Is it possible for them to pay through them?
Yes, that one is under the BUT. So that one now you have to get your social worker to help you get that form filled, and then the Afrik Center would also have to fill the form and send to them. So BUT is covering such cases for the young people.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you so much, ma'am. And Chinelo is a member of the Parent Compass. So for those who are members of the Parent Compass, please get directly in touch with her. So ask your questions. And I'm very excited to have the resume in the Parents Compass. So those who are not in the Parents Compass, you'll not get the resume. But I'm sure that Chinelo is going to put the resume in the Parents Compass for the conversation today. Thank you very much. And today we're talking about Nachhilfestrich tutorials as a preventive tool to upgrade and support personal development for young people and as well their academic performance. And I'm very grateful that we had a guest today, Chinelo, who is a founder and director of the Language Afrik. And it is for our interest, in the interest of parents, in the interest of young people. And yes, we are blessed that we have African business owners are doing great works for the community. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll meet next week for another conversation. And this time it's going to be on Aufenthaltbestimmungsrecht for parents who are discussing on their custody with their parents or their partners. God bless you and have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and wonderful week. God bless you. Thank you, Chinelo.
Thank you.
Have
Bye.
a nice
Have
evening.
a nice
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
Elizabeth.
Normally.